What's up, folks? Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I am co-hosting with John Pounders from It's Now UC TV, correct?
That's it, man.
Oh,
That's
man,
it.
I butcher so many things, dude. It's unbelievable.
It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate you having me on, man. I'm it's been a while and I definitely want to come back on. I got some cool things to talk about, but I thought after seeing your video you did, it was like a short on Facebook or reel about McDonald's and I thought you had to talk to my friend Gene. So I wanted to, and you wanted me to come on with you guys. So I know you guys are going to have an awesome conversation. But anything else that I need to interject and ask? I've known Gene for I don't know what 6 7 years. Gene probably.
Oh, something like that, man. We've had a good time when we connect and families
Yeah,
get
yeah,
together and it's hard to find somebody where the guys and the wives and the kids can all connect and get along. So
for sure.
So Gene Stanford was a McDonald's franchisee owner. You basically walked away from it. You a voice came to you, to your soul, basically, is what you were telling me before we started recording. And do you value money over doing what's right? So a lot of people that are watching this right now, I know a lot of my audience probably loves a good Big Mac every once in a while, a quarter pounder. I used to love McDonald's, dude, until you know I started watching videos and seeing stuff that I'm like, man, this doesn't agree with me. And I remember watching one video in particular where they were like torching it with a blowtorch, and
sure.
the video, nothing happened to the burger, and I was like, this is scary stuff, man. And plus, like, I just feel like it's changed so drastically, even from the '80s when I was a kid, when they actually had like playgrounds and stuff like that at McDonald's.
Sure.
It wasn't like cookie cutter, one McDonald's resembled the next. They were all kind of original. They had their own kind of flavor to them. But I think like that from the 1980s to now, even McDonald's has changed so much. I feel like it used to be like real food back in the day, and I don't even know what it is today. And with that being said, Gene Stanford, man, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Great to be here. Great to be here. I got to give a quick shout out to my mother-in-law since I'm on Nino's Corner.tv. Gigi, who is the grandparent to my kids, my mother-in-law. I think she probably watches 2 or 3 of your shows a night, man. Just can't
Gigi,
get
what's
enough.
up?
Yeah, right.
Thank you for the support.
For
So,
sure.
Gene, you want to give us a background on like how you even got started in the McDonald's business? Uh, how this took off for you? But you didn't just walk away though. You sold and left, right?
Correct.
Okay. So why don't you
Correct.
go into the background and how you got started in McDonald's, and then we'll take it from there.
Sure. It was a family affair, if you will. My wife's family had been in the system, in the McDonald's system, since 1956, and her grandfather opened what is arguably the eighth restaurant, could have been the sixth restaurant. It was the first franchise Realty Group restaurant in Chicago, in Joliet, Illinois. So fast forward through him growing his business, back with Ray Kroc and Fred Turner, and nobody knew what McDonald's was back then. Like it was a brand new restaurant concept. I'm sure you guys have seen the movies with Michael Keaton
Michael
and
Keaton, yeah, that's
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. Great movie. Did a great
That guy
portrayal.
was ruthless. The real dude was ruthless, bro.
So I didn't know him, but my wife's grandmother, before she passed, said that that was a great representation of Ray Kroc, minus he liked to party a little harder than maybe they made out in the movie, like to have a good time, but that it was a great
Who
representation.
doesn't, man?
Yeah, right. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I met my wife. I came from Southern Illinois. I grew up in a farming family, great family. And after I got out of the Army, we met and got married in 2006. Had no interest in McDonald's. And I know you said Big Mac. I was a quarter pounder guy. Believe it or not, even after owning 9 of them, I've never eaten a full Big Mac. I'm just a quarter
Damn.
pounder cheese guy. Like, so that's my go-to. But my mother-in-law said, "Hey, I need some help on the management side. There could be some ownership for you in the future." She was a second generation owner operator. It's the term that's used within McDonald's. And she had two restaurants in the time in the south suburbs of Chicago. Fast forward 5.5 years, and I got the blessing from McDonald's corporate, which is, it's quite a challenge, if you will, to become an owner operator, to become one of the few McDonald's franchisees.
Don't you, in order to own a McDonald's, you have to put in certain hours to work there? You have to work there from the bottom up. Is that just a myth or is that true?
And I started as a fry guy, burning my forehead on that stainless where the fry station is. Yeah, I mean,
So it is
literally,
true. But I mean,
it
do you have
is.
to, so you have to work from the bottom up, mopping floors, fry guy, hammer. But I mean, how many hours do you have to actually put in to before you can actually be looked at as being an owner?
So it varies just based on what kind of history and expertise you bring into the system. I came through what was called a next generation program, and they put us through the ringer, man. Literally, you start as a brand new guy, like a crew kid, which typically starts on fries day one. I spent 5.5 years, 60 plus hours a week, learning the restaurant operations, learning all the positions, running restaurants, learning the back end office, finance, etc. So it was a full-time job for me, literally for 5.5 years as an employee of my mother-in-law's organization.
Wow. So you started from the bottom up. It wasn't, I
Correct.
understand it was in your family and people argue, say, it was given to him, but you still had to work there. You had to put in the hours.
Oh, I did. So that's the other side. That's kind of a myth. For me, anyway, there was nothing given. I bought and took out commercial loans in order to be able to buy in. What was given, make no mistake, is my mother-in-law had to be willing to sell me a percentage of her business. She had to be willing to do that. So that's my experience. There is some truth to what you said, maybe for some other folks' experience, but not for mine.
But you took that piece and then you flourished it, and it grew.
Absolutely.
How many McDonald's locations did you own?
So I grew to 9 McDonald's. I left Chicagoland in 2014 and moved down to the St. Louis area for growth. And I turned one into three, and then a couple years later, turned three into nine.
And you sold all of them.
I sold them all.
Okay, so you said you're getting a little voice in your head saying, "Do you value the right thing over? Do you value doing what's right over money?" Go into that because I'm going to take you some different directions on this today, and I
Sure.
want to know first why, like, why would be doing what's right selling McDonald's? Like, well, to me, if you're going to support a family, and that would seem what's right, unless
Sure.
there's something very critical here, really like a splinter in your mind and your soul bothering you so much so that you wanted to step away from this entire franchise and making very good money. So,
But
explain to me what that was.
sure. And it's a little bit of a story, man, to be honest with you. And you're right. McDonald's, I mean, I remember as a kid going to McDonald's. I mean, people didn't eat out as much back in the day as they do now, but like it was a treat. It was a family event, family affair. They had all the characters where there was Grimace, Mayor McCheese, whatever, had the playlands. And when I got started in McDonald's in 2006 as a crew kid, 2011 as an owner operator, all the way to 9 restaurants, I watched that change from what was traditionally known as a family business into, and there's been some great memes out there on this where, McDonald's used to represent the family and now they're like, the grown-up parent on, 52 different drugs trying to take their antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds, and they just blend in with everything. So I would say that I watched that transition happen where the McDonald's Corporation is in a different business than we are. They're a real estate company. We're restaurant owners and entrepreneurs. They're satisfying shareholders through stock price. We're satisfying customers in our local market. And there's times that those roads don't always cross, man. And as we moved forward through the years, and as Wall Street became the social justice movement to the Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies, and all of that.
So when did that start really? Because I really noticed it really during the Biden administration. But when did that really take off? When did the DEI and all that stuff, social justice stuff, really take off for you to where they
Sure.
started implementing it into McDonald's?
So when it became public facing, I absolutely agree with you. I would say it was at the tail end of the Trump administration, definitely amplified into the Biden administration and just out in the open. I'll give you an example. and it went well for McDonald's. So I don't necessarily know what your opinion on it was, but when we started the celebrity meals, you may remember Travis Scott was the first individual that McDonald's picked because we didn't have any feedback
The
on
first real
like
sellout. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first one was Travis Scott, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't know who Travis Scott was. I'm a little too old for his era of music, if you will. And, you know, his two most popular songs, quite frankly, were not anything I would let my kids listen to. And so that was a great representation of this family model, family business that kind of just sold out to how are we just going to grow revenue? Whatever it takes, whatever the move is, we're going to make that happen. And I understand we talked about ESG and DEI and all of that, kind of blended that in with the move away from the family business. But if you're following the storyline, we've moved from a family business into just how do we make money? What's the fastest way to make money?
Losing your core values.
100%. I think we tried to become everything to everybody throughout that process. If you look at In-N-Out Burger, you know exactly what they are. They sell burgers, they sell fries, they sell milkshakes, and they're great at it. And that's their identity. We just kind of got lost in the sauce, man.
Isn't In-N-Out, they're more Christian based? Isn't like a Christian family? They have like Psalms on their cups and the bottom of their cups. And at least that's what I've always been told. And that's what I've heard. Is that true? Is that like, aren't they, or have they sold out too?
Oh man, I can't even answer that. I don't even know. You guys held on to the In-N-Outs all out on the West Coast and the western side of the U.S.
There's not one In-N-Out here in El Paso, but we have Whataburger, and I'm telling you, I crave In-N-Out. That's like the one fast food that I eat is In-N-Out.
Sure. Yeah, they're like set up by Chick-fil-A's too, because I think In-N-Out's closed on Saturdays and Chick-fil-A's closed on Sundays, so they kind of feed off of each other. Like I noticed that when I was in Dallas the last time.
Wow, that's good strategy right there, right?
Yeah.
Dang. All right, so let's get back. Go ahead. So continue on.
I can't stick to the In-N-Out, but what I can tell you is that the Biden administration, especially after the 2020 election, there was a different attitude within McDonald's from the corporate side. And so I can't tell you as to why. All I can tell you is the end result of that is we would get emails that we were going to start supporting initiatives that were quite controversial, to be honest with you, and are still controversial today. Depending on what you say, you may get banned or deplatformed on YouTube or different. So it was a challenge for me coming and spending time active duty in the Army, being highly libertarian from a political perspective, that I don't think you should be able to tell somebody as a condition of employment what they have to do with their body.
100%. I agree with you 1,000%. So, you know, you saw that shift after the Biden win. And that's funny you say that because I just found this today. Look at this, guys.
Yeah.
You believe I found this, bro? This is, look at this. I can't believe I still have this, but I knew it'd be a piece of history, so I kept it. Anyway, that's just a little fun side thing here that I just found today.
But and to add something to that time period, because I was actually, I think, visiting your guys' house during that time, and I remember you guys kind of stood your ground locally for like a local law that they had kind of put in place, and they were trying to fine you guys during that time period. I remember that, and I just remember the stress that was on your mind and your wife's mind going through that time period, man. It was unreal.
Man, I forgot all about that. That was Thanksgiving Day, to be honest with you. So that was a location that I had, that we had small town college students room together. We had 5 individuals test positive within like 48 hours, and the health department tried to shut us down. And we had followed every protocol that there was in existence at the time in order to stay open. And if you remember, guys, we were, as a system, it's wild that McDonald's was deemed essential. Because I know you talked about the food, Nino. I used to defend the food. And to a point, I can kind of still defend the food. Not to get off topic, but you know, we live in a corporatized food world today that one could argue or make the point that there's no better food, regardless of the brand that you're shopping at or the grocery store you're buying your food from, because it all comes from the same place. It has a different name on it, but it all comes from the same place, right? So we're following all of those protocols. And John, it was probably a 3-hour phone call with a city attorney, the health department, etc., trying to shut us down.
What a nightmare. What a
Oh, it's
nightmare.
crazy.
So then shortly after that is when you said, okay, I'm going to sell.
You know, let's be honest, Nino, I had a $25 million a year company that was throwing off about $3.5 million a year pre-tax, pre-debt. And that's hard to give up, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's more money than I'd ever made in my life doing anything. And to be honest with you, we were still on the on-ramp. We moved strategically in a place to be able to grow to 20 to 30 restaurants, and we had only hit 9. We weren't even a third of the way to our goal yet. But
damn, bro. I mean, just to walk away from that, a lot of people on here would be like, that's just crazy. But to you, it was more than that. It was about your core values, right? You just couldn't, you felt you were doing, I guess, something, a disservice to yourself and to society, right?
well, if you go back to that time frame, and you can find this, it was in May of 21. McDonald's corporate announced a partnership with the Biden administration, hashtag we can do this. And I think it might have been we can do this together, which required us to promote very controversial component of society at the time. And we had no say in it. And it wasn't too long after that, very quickly after that, where I'm literally driving in my car between restaurants, and it wasn't like the clouds parted and the sun shine and it was, whoa, angels speaking to me. But man, clear as day, I heard, do you value money over doing what's right? Now, it took me 2 more times hearing that to respond with, because I knew the answer. I knew the answer was, all right, I got to sell. Like, just, I knew that as soon as that was stated, I knew what the direction I needed to take was, the change I needed to make in my life was. But I had to hear it 2 more times because, to your point, those were some golden handcuffs, man.
Yeah.
And I was feeding my family, and in the small towns that we operated in, to be honest with you, it feeds your ego because you're a McDonald's franchisee. People are coming to you for sponsorships and money, and can you hire my kid, and can you all those things.
You're actually helping a lot of people on the back end.
I mean, the reality is, at one time we had almost 600 employees. So yeah, there's a lot that I could say we were doing good. So I don't want to misrepresent how good I believe our organization treated our community. I'm stating simply from the top down, there were changes that so conflicted with my moral being that I believe God stepped in and said, exit the system.
So what year did you sell?
I sold in August of 21.
So now that Trump's coming back in, are you like, oh.
No, man.
Because I mean, I'm pretty sure things are going to change drastically. So
Well,
are you?
look at
Would
the
you
social
get?
media? If you look at the social media posts, I mean, he's flying out to the UFC event or back from it with all his boys chowing down on
McDonald's,
right? So
So how do you feel about that? Are you kind of like, damn it? Are you kicking yourself in the ass? Or are you like, do you want to get back in? Are you happy now? Like, what's going through your mind?
So it's funny you said. I had an ad agency executive tell me that the happiest McDonald's owners that he ever runs into are former McDonald's owners. And I have to agree with him, man. It's been 3 years. We live in South Florida. We've met great people. I'm a Midwest kid at heart. I miss the Midwest, but live down in South Florida. I've met some amazing people, have a different opportunity in front of me now. And to your point, I think it took me about 3 years to unwind from that system mentally and emotionally in order to be prepared for something else, to be honest.
Dude,
and if I shouldn't bring this up, let me know. But on when you sold it, I remember they kind of did you a little bit dirty on the selling part of it too. If I remember right, you may not want to talk about that, but I'm going to bring it up anyway.
It was a unique time in America, my friend. It was a unique time. So
Yes.
they didn't do me dirty. They did the buyer dirty, which meant they did my people dirty. So I'm not giving you a peek into the tent of anything that's not public. At the time, McDonald's had a class action lawsuit from the African American McDonald's owner operators that they were being misrepresented with their stores in primarily, I don't know, I don't remember the term, low class areas or whatever the case may be. They didn't get a fair shake. And so I had made one phone call to one owner operator to buy my entire organization, all 9 restaurants. And of course, the franchisor has the right to approve or refuse any transaction at any time for any reason. And they didn't, because I said, if you're going to split it up anyway, go ahead and split it up. So they split up my patch. And instead of one buyer, there ended up being 2 buyers. I guess I didn't have enough diversity, equity, and inclusion in the buyer that was buying.
That's the reason they used.
Publicly facing, no, but yes. So that's the direction it went. And at the end of the day, I had a contract. So I got my money, but what they did dirty was my people. They did my people dirty because now we had to split them up.
So the last time I went to a McDonald's, I ate it's got to be over a year and a half now, and I don't know what. I got up in the morning and I was like, I'm craving an Egg McMuffin and coffee. I'm gonna go to McDonald's and have an Egg McMuffin and coffee. When I had an Egg McMuffin and coffee, and I remember the whole day I was like, oh. I was like, it was like I swallowed a bowling ball, bro. My system was very clean. I was working out a lot, and I thought, dude, egg and English muffin, well, how bad can that be? But I felt it all day long, and I was like, never again. That was the last time I've ever eaten at McDonald's. That was about a year and a half ago. So here's the question. What is it, bro? What is in McDonald's? Aren't you supposed to know what's in the ingredients? What's in the meat? Is it meat? What the hell are people ingesting? I mean, I'm a very health conscious guy. I know my audience wants to know. Everyone wants to know right now, what are we eating at McDonald's? Do you even know?
Sure. I'm going to say I don't know. But what blows me? You know what blows me away, Nino? I can't believe so.
Are you just saying that to stay safe, or do you know? I mean, what is it?
How deep into the ocean do you want me to swim with the sharks, right? So let me share with you one of the issues at McDonald's, and I'll address food. So I don't think people comprehend how big the system is in terms of McDonald's and how much food, what industries grow up around that. I'll give you an example. I don't remember the year. Call it 2012. Call it 2013. I don't remember the year. McDonald's launched a blueberry walnut oatmeal because they had the hot oatmeals that they had in the morning.
I think I've had that back in the day. Yeah.
Well, that was a limited time offering. It had fresh blueberries in it. And it was supposed to be something like a 5-week run, right? Don't hold me to the specifics. Dude, 2 weeks in, we blew every blueberry supplier in North America, not just the US, completely dry of blueberries. So just to share with you the scale with which McDonald's operates when it comes to food. Now, you hit the nail on the head, man. There's preservatives. It goes back to, what are you buying?
Dude, okay. Food. With what you just said right there regarding blueberries, it would seem to me like there's not enough chicken and beef out there to feed what you guys. I mean, seriously.
I see where
there's just not enough. And so what is it that you're selling, and what really is it? Like I said, I've seen videos where they show a Big Mac, or I don't remember what it was, a quarter pounder being torched with a blowtorch.
Dude, I found them in my car. Come on. I've got 4 kids. Like, I found French fries and burgers in my car that have probably been there for a month. And yeah, they look like
nothing happens.
It's just cold, right?
What does your body do? How does your body see? That's what I'm saying. That how does your body digest that and use that for nutrients? I mean, if it doesn't go anywhere, man,
I think I think the argument that RFK Jr. has made that, and this is close, that the French fries from McDonald's that go to the UK have like 7 or 9 ingredients, and the French fries in the US have like 27 ingredients. Like, why is that? Well, hell, I don't know why that is. But that's the shit, quite honestly, that you're feeling when you eat an Egg McMuffin that if you set it on a shelf is probably good 2 years later.
I just found the video, one video. I don't know if this is it, but I'm going to play it real quick. I want to show people what I'm talking about in case someone's never seen this before.
Sure.
If anything will change your mind, it'll be this. Now, I don't know if this is the exact video I saw, but this is the first thing that pulled up on the internet for me. So, you all can see this, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have seen this before?
I've never seen this one.
I've never seen while they're burning it in the cardboard, man.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if this is the correct video. Hopefully it is. You mean you've never tried this at your McDonald's, Gene?
I think that's a Burger King ad. That's flame broiled, right?
That's good. Oh, there you go. Now, I could be missing something here. Maybe there's some science behind this on why the burger's not responding the way I think it should, which is by just completely falling apart and melting. But this doesn't seem normal to me, Gene. Does it you, John?
Man, I don't know. I had some ice cream the other day. Actually, I didn't buy it, but there was ice cream and my daughter was eating it and then she left it. They were out fishing. It was warm outside and it never melted, man. It was like 3 hours later. So I have no idea what's going on with that, but that's crazy to me too. Like they must be adding something, some kind of preservatives to things because didn't they pull like a burger and fries out of some time capsule that was like a decade old?
Yeah,
like there's some
I
kind
heard
of
about
video
that.
floating around about like that, and it looked exactly the same. So I have no idea.
I mean, that's well done, right?
What's that?
That's well done, man.
Does he eat it at the end of this?
Bro, why is nothing happening to the pickles?
I was just getting ready to say, why are the pickles not doing anything? They look perfect.
This is crazy to me. All right, I don't know what else can convince my audience not to eat this crap, but I mean, hey, I think you did the right thing by selling. I'm just saying.
Sure. Man, I defended it for years. I defended the food for years, and would I love to see a systemic change for all of us to be healthier? I would, 100%. I don't know what it's going to take, but I just said it's a big ship to turn this McDonald's world, man. It's a huge ship. And so unless it comes, go ahead.
I was driving through Arizona and I can't remember what McDonald's I stepped into. Like I said, I haven't been to McDonald's for a year and a half, but I think it was before the last time I went. I went to one. I think I was in Arizona. I stopped in some place like Wilcox or so. I can't remember exactly the
Sure.
town or whatever. But I walked in and there was like one cashier there, and the rest was all AI, like order yourself. I mean, so is that what's shifting right now in the food industry, in the fast food industry? I mean, when you sold, were you still did you still have a ton of employees, or were you shifting to AI?
So I think it's a cause and effect kind of relationship. We were absolutely shifting, but there's a which in my mind too was a justification, Nino, and one of the reasons why it was a good time to sell. Like there's a labor issue throughout this country, period. Doesn't really matter whether it's McDonald's, whether it's, some other brand name. Service has gone out the window. And so I would call it a reassignment of labor. So yeah, we put kiosks in our lobbies, spent a lot of money to be able to do that. Not so we couldn't have somebody in there. It was for faster throughput because now we have multiple ordering stations in the lobby as opposed to just 2 or 3 front counter registers. But it has turned into this opportunity to not have anybody in to greet you, not have anybody in to say hi, completely impersonal. You walk up, you order your stuff, and then somebody calls a number, a name, and hands you a bag.
Jeez.
Right? What?
I was at a Home Depot a few days ago, and I like to go get my jugs of water or whatever. And I went there, the 5-gallon jugs, and I went to go, and I'm like, damn it, I have to go to the self-checkout. And I was pissed off, and I'm there, and then I'm like looking for the jugs of water to scan. I'm like, man, I need someone to come help me. And I'm sitting there, standing there, and I'm like, this would be so much easier if there was just a cashier, man, that I could just talk to and get this done with. But I had to go find somebody, bring them back. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what they were doing. They had to go find another person. This took an extra like 15, 20 minutes just for me to get the water and leave. And that's what pisses me off about this. They don't have all the kinks worked out. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like the audacity for me to go shop in your store and then check myself out and leave and bag my own shit pisses me off, dude. Like, I really get mad about it.
I'm on your team, 100% the same way. I find a cashier because I feel like if I'm paying retail, you're checking me out.
Right.
The grocery store. I don't care if it's Home Depot or if it's Lowe's.
And then she was telling me how to work the computer. So you have to go here and hit the water and then hit this and then scan the code. I'm like, that's your job. What do I need to why do I need to know how to work here?
Hey, where's my discount? Like if I'm doing this myself, where's my discount? Right?
I just don't understand it, man. That's the wrong direction where the world's going right now. And I think we need to, I hope that's one of the main things Trump does is pull this back and stop this AI takeover because we're losing complete connection with human connection. We're losing human connection. We're heading into this dystopian, depressing, bleak future, no future really. And I think Biden, people don't understand just how important this election was. And I believe we have the high ground now. We took back humanity. Don't you, John? Don't you feel like we now have the high ground? Like we are now going in the right direction? Look, I have my questions about Jared Kushner. I have my questions about Elon Musk, but I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel really good right now where we're headed.
Well, this is the first time since the year 2000, so 24 years, that I felt the need to actually vote. And I live in a red state, so it's like my vote probably doesn't even matter. But man, I feel the same way. And there's a lot of things that strike me as kind of scary about like some of the people Trump's appointed, some of those things. So, but I feel like it's a better future than if Kamala was elected. And I'm just saying this, he's not in office yet. So that kind of freaks me out a little bit. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. I can't imagine that the dark powers, the dark lodge, is going to just give it up that easy. I just can't see that happening.
I agree, man. I'm thinking like, this is all I do. My show. This is all I do is talk to people behind the scenes on what's coming, and everybody's nervous right now. But that's a different topic for a different show. But Gene, I'm good, guys. Gene, I'm very grateful you came on and spilled the beans on McDonald's a little bit. I tried to get you to
trying to get it in. Hey, listen, I agree with you. I just think that somebody ought to go grab a burger, take it somewhere, and have that stuff checked out. Let us know what it is. Why not?
How has that not happened?
I don't know.
All right.
I think maybe you're the man.
All right, hold on. Chicken McNuggets. Those used to be my favorite. What is
They're
it?
not pink slime.
Okay, they're not pink slime.
They're not pink slime. No.
Well, how do you know that? That's probably what they're doing. They probably send them to you frozen, and then you microwave them or nuke them and give them right. That's what you do. It's not like you're out there like, making the chicken.
Hey man, we're not lopping heads off of chickens in the back park. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not happening.
They're delicious, dude. I'm not gonna say chicken McNuggets are not delicious. I love the chicken McNuggets, but I'm just the sweet and sour and barbecue. Damn. But
Hot mustard, bro. Hot
what
mustard.
is it? What is it?
Hot mustard is my
Hot
jam.
mustard's good too.
You should-
Yeah, you're
hot
right.
mustard.
They're all good, but
Yeah.
do you know what it is?
Hey man, I'm picking up what you're putting down. No, hey, listen, we deep fry them. We don't microwave. I want to dispel that myth.
Okay.
They are formed patties with all white meat. I'm just giving you the corporate line that I saw no further under the hood than they're all white breast meat formed nuggets. Now,
You don't
who
think
has-
they're pink slime with white dye or something?
dude, no. Otherwise, they'd be pink. They do come frozen.
Yeah, but food coloring.
Oh,
Bleach. Yeah.
yeah, I don't
Like,
know.
so did they say all white breast meat or did they say
Yeah,
just
yeah.
all white meat, period? Because I've never heard the all white breast meat part of it, like
Guys, I've been out 3 years, man. I can't tell you what's on the box now.
So what are you doing from here? Like, what's your plan now? I mean, you're not just retiring and just sitting back on your loins, or are you? I don't know. Are you just chilling now, or are you planning to get back into the fast food industry? Because that is what you know, or what's
Sure.
your plans from here?
So there is not a chance in the world I'm going into food service retail. None. Zero.
Okay.
There's none bigger in QSR, quick service restaurants, than McDonald's. So once you've been to the top, or if you've been at the pinnacle, if you will, where do you go after that? Okay. I mean, if you win the title, Nino, what do you go do next?
Exactly.
Are you going to stay in that space? So,
Yeah.
that's kind of the challenge. To your point, I can't stomach the direction I see retail going in. It's impersonal. Service isn't there. And I'm talking high-end restaurants, high-end places. So no. I sat for 3 years waiting for this economy under the Biden administration, which I would call an extension of the Obama administration, with a 4-year stopgap of partially Trump, because they didn't control all of
Right.
DC. Waiting for this economy to come off the rails, man. Like I literally was waiting for like the proverbial train to just keep going off into the abyss off the tracks. And it never happened. Don't know why. Don't know what levers they're pulling. Have watched a ton of your shows. Have no idea. But I met another principled individual by the name of Michael Grondal. You may recognize Planet Fitness. He was the founder of Planet Fitness.
Yeah, I just did it. I just did a what with Planet Fitness where some dude died in the tanning bed he was there for 3 days. I was like, what? All right,
I don't know how that happens, man. Wrong guy.
Wow.
Wrong guy. But Michael and his family are great. We met and became friends a couple years ago at a political event. And another principled individual, another story for another time. But, he got booted out for it was a corporate attorney within Planet Fitness. So anyway.
Yeah. These
And
people
he
are
started it. He
everyone's-
started it and got booted out. So that's the crazy thing.
For sure. I mean, his story's for him to tell. I can just tell you, fantastic family, amazing human being. And he was done dirty. He was done wrong. So he owns a company called MG Science and Technologies. They have a proof of concept product called Nano-X. It's a pain relief cream. And he asked me to step in as CEO for MG Science and Technologies. And that was about a month ago. So excited to
wow.
work.
So maybe that's the direction you're going, and you'll be helping people now, not poisoning them.
Man, I got to tell you, so we just did an event, and we started at McDonald's, and we're gonna go to a completely different place. We just did an event a couple weeks ago at the Navy SEAL Museum over on the east coast of Florida, and Rick Kaiser, who's the CEO there, I think he said he was a 32-year Navy SEAL, Team 6 guy for most of that. He's an amputee, and he loved our product, endorsed our product. and we went and set up just hawking our wares, man. We've got a pain cream and we were giving samples out, putting it on people, and the overwhelming response we got, Nino, was this shit really works. Where can I buy it? And I got to tell you, I felt good for the first time in a long time about a product that's being marketed to the public that says it's going to do something, and it really does. Yeah.
Send me some samples.
Rare air.
Send me some samples. I'm interested in that. Everyone knows my body hurts. I'm on all kinds of stuff, but I'm actually feeling really great with all the supplements I take. But I do, my hands hurt still sometimes from punching people in the head. My back of my neck hurts. It has some I guess there's some arthritic stuff going on in the back of my neck, my lower back, my ankles, my whole body, bro.
Man, why don't I just send you a couple tubs of it, dude? We'll lather you up. It'll be all right.
I'll just soak in a tub. I just got a cold plunge sent to me. I've been doing the red light therapy has been awesome. Quinolodine has helped a lot. Man, I don't know. I'm interested. Send me some of your stuff. Send me some.
I'll get your address from John or email it over to me and
I'll give it a shot. And if I like it, we'll do a show on it. What do you think, John?
Yeah.
You guys want to do that?
I think that'd be awesome, man. Yeah, like I used it. He gave me the roll-on stuff, and I'm hurting all the time too because I do jujitsu and striking and such. And so, dude, it is pretty awesome. And I hate using different things, but knowing Gene and knowing that they're actually like doing the science behind it, man, it's pretty cool.
You know, it's how old are you, John? You don't mind?
I'm 42.
So okay, so I retired at 35. So let me think. So now, I still get people. Like I do my own workouts. I go hit the treadmill. I'm doing running sprints. I have zero desire to get back in the boxing gym. Like I just don't like I paid my dues. I got my stripes. I'm done. Like I just like now I'm just like pain management and just in nice recreational, a nice brisk walk in the park, some weights. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, man. I hurt all the time, and my hands like hurt. I have a bowling league I do once a week, and I can't even hardly bowl. Like that's how bad my hands hurt. So like
maybe I need to join a bowling league, dude.
It's fun, man. It's
that
fun.
Shit seems fun, bro. But that's only fun. Everything is just so much more fun when you're drinking, though, man. Like golfing, or I remember I went golfing with Tim. Remember the basketball guy, Tim Hardaway, the NBA, the crossover. Yeah, me and him finished off a whole bottle of tequila together, and we were smoking, blazing the whole time. I took the caddy off 4-wheel drive and took it out into the desert. They got to go find us. It was crazy, but man, I sure do miss the drinking days. But anyway, Gene. Thank you for joining. John, you're awesome. Thanks for setting this up. John put this together, folks. John, where do people find you?
Now you see TV, or you can just Google NYSTV on YouTube, or, I think we're on most of the social media stuff. So pretty easy to find there. But thanks, man. Nino, I appreciate it, dude. And we'll have to talk again. I've got some cool stuff that we can do a show about. So hopefully pretty soon.
I love hosting with you, bro. It's always fun. And Gene, where do people find you?
Easiest way to find me is just email me direct, just GENE Stanford at yahoo.com. If you want to check out the pain cream, the shit really works. Go to Nano Extreme, NanoXtreme.com. Nino, it's been great. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right, folks. Till next time, stay away from McDonald's. Later.